Blowing out candles on a cake is unsanitary. You're basically just spitting on it, then serving it to a bunch of people. There will be spit on that cake. I don't care how clean your son is, Bethany. He is 2 years old. I won't eat his saliva. I don't tell people this at the party. I just decline the cake, but I find it gross. As annoying as I find it, I don't try to ruin the fun. Edit: I'm not a germaphobe. This is the only unsanitary thing that makes me feel this way. In most other scenarios I'm the unsanitary one. I'm pretty gross NGL. But I still find this strange. If you are looking for hygiene, don't start at a 2-year-old's birthday. Every piece of food on the table has been handled by a toddler. So is eating ass. Oh buddy, wait until you find out about your phone. I'll eat the cake straight off the floor. You think a little spit is gonna stop me? The person making the cake probably breathed on it far more than the person blowing out the candles. And the ingredients of those cake were probably be breathed on and touched. But you can't live your life that preoccupied by germs or you'd never eat out. Touch a door handle or handle money. Sounds like you are just a bit of a germaphobe. I find it weird when people get upset about this sort of thing. Yet most of us are not just willing, but excited about sticking our tongues directly in someone else's mouth. Weird hill to die on. I assume you have never given a handshake. Sorry to tell you, but if you're hanging around a 2-year-old for any length of time, you're already eating their saliva. My guy, unless you're celebrating the Ebola patient Zero's birthday, you should be fine. Unless you have the immune system of a chair. Good thing I fart in my cupped hands and throw at the candles. Ain't no spit particles coming from me. Maybe not everyone spits obscene amounts when simply blowing. This is how we train our immune systems. This is not an unpopular opinion. Your phone probably has more bacteria than the cake BTW. It's just germs, it won't do anything. The person who made your food was breathing all over it during the cooking and plating of that food. The person sitting across the table from you is getting their spit all over your food too. Getting bent out by people breathing on or near your food is solid germaphobe territory. Since spit on food is a fact of life unless you take pretty extreme steps like only ever cooking your own food, then eating it by yourself to avoid it. If the show CSI taught me anything, it's that just talking over food sprays an insane amount of spit over everything. No getting around it. It is what it is. Op will lick a stranger's bunghole but won't eat cake with breath residue. Okay, I'm a germaphobe too. But come on. You have an immune system for a reason. People have been sharing germs with each other for millions of years. There are germs everywhere. Every breath you take. Every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, you're swapping germs with the surrounding environment and people. You've done fine so far. I can't believe people are trying to shit on you for not wanting cake covered in a toddler's spit. I'm sure these people would consider spitting on someone to be assault. I thought blowing out candles was cancelled after COVID. Well, by that measure, having a pet is also unsanitary, and perhaps you consider it to be. What do you think happens when a dog or a cat goes to the shitter? You think they wipe up and clean themselves after? They spread shit particles all over the house, which will end up in your food and the air. Yeah, dude, no shit. No more so than talking to someone at the water cooler. I wonder how germaphobes function on a day-to-day basis. I'm guessing they stay inside most of the time. I won't eat toddler cake. And most people use the toddler cake to blow candles. Have a separate cake for adults. That's also why it's not cool to have 40 candles on a cake. I'm not eating a cake that someone had to take a deep breath to blow out all the candles. I agree that it's kinda gross to blow out candles. But I'm also a germaphobe. I get being cautious post-COVID, but there are PPL out there, grown adults, who don't wash their hands after wiping shit out of their ass crack and then touch every surface around them. Some saliva on a cake is the least of your worries. I'm a preschool teacher, and the unspoken rule when it comes to birthdays amongst our parents is that you serve cupcakes at the birthday, never an actual cake. I spent almost $2,000 on a water treatment softener system for my house because it was off the charts with heavy metals. Tastes like bottled water now, lol. You're real fun at parties, I bet. That's alright. The door you opened on your way to the birthday party had more germs on it. Germs exist. Maybe develop some immunities. We really need to stop people breeding who can't develop a healthy immune system. Wait until you find out about sex. Living is unsanitary. There's a reason sterile means both clean and lifeless. If you're gonna live in fear of a 2-year-old spittle, go wrap yourself in plastic. The rest of us are out living a life worth the risk. I haven't even seen a birthday cake in over a decade. I forget people celebrate those. More a fact than opinion, right? I already don't like cake much, and I definitely won't eat it after someone's blown over it. But lately I've come to terms with being a bit of a germaphobe after I realized that I wash my hands like a lot, apparently. Right with you on that one. It's kinda gross. I hoped it would die out with COVID, but no. Nah bro, you're just a clean freak. Living is unsanitary, but we get over it. Why is everyone so mad about this loudly crying? I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to not eat cake. That's slobbered on loudly crying. He doesn't make a stink at the party, it's just an opinion. And one based in cleanliness at that, loudly crying. Thank you for not patronizing others based on your phobias. Humans are incredibly resilient, based on their immune system. That immune system is built very early in life, and I can assure you, having witnessed children swimming in the canals of Bangkok and playing in the streets of Delhi, that it's supposed to be like that. Mind you, children get sick, and they require proper care. But germophobia is unhealthy. Holy fucking shit, I've never agreed harder with any opinion I've ever heard in my life. And the people who lick the cake frosting off of the base of the candles after pulling them out are psychopaths. I will never understand this shit, lol. COVID cake. I bet you're fun at parties. Sharing is caring. Totally agree. If someone does so, I directly don't eat cake. Those kind of things weren't so obvious before, but after a 2.5 years pandemic, I hope people had learned something. I will never eat a cake someone has blown all over, lol, especially a kid. So nasty. Facts, man. Still gonna blow though. Last I checked, blowing air isn't the same as spitting. Sure, some kids don't know how, and there is spittle justified in being put off by that. But blowing air doesn't introduce any more bodily fluids into the air than normal breathing. By that logic, you shouldn't eat anything anyone has breathed around. This isn't unpopular, lol, people just don't care, it's cake. The spit isn't the worst thing for you on the cake. I've agreed with you for decades. Between watching Food Network and seeing fingers going into food to taste it, spoon, fork, chopstick, anyone? And blowing out candles on a cake. We don't go out to dinner, and we won't eat anything at a kid's b-day. It really is gross. Sincere thanks for the post. You must be fun to be around.